is going on, everybody? It is Monday night. Time for a wonderful, wonderful episode of your favorite podcast, arguably the best podcast covering the UFL in the nation. Uh,
Dang.
that's your Horns Forward podcast,
Right.
right?
Period.
So you guys know me, Loudmouth of the South, SAJ. And man, I'm so excited for this episode. I can't even hold it.
Yep. Hey everybody, I am BD, and you see my background's a little different today. I'm coming from deer camp, out hunting. But you know what? This place has Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the podcast.
210, Bramacita, Jackie here. I'm just sharing, but how are you guys?
They actually have Wi-Fi at deer camp?
They do. This is like modern deer camp. You know, we got like a
great.
fridge and stuff that we can keep all of our beer
Oh
cold.
Lord.
But we still have a campfire because you got to have a campfire at deer camp. So,
You have to.
You have to.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it hasn't really been cold enough these last few days to it. It's been, lows in the 60s, highs in the 70s to 80s. Tomorrow it's going to drop down to the 40s. So hopefully, you know what? If I'm hoping tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be cold in the morning. So hopefully I'll get myself a deer and I'll be able to get y'all some deer jerky.
Get you some Bambi. That'd be awesome.
Yep, that's right.
Renee's not on, right? Sorry, Renee. If you watch this later, I don't promote it. Bravo, babe. We love animals. We love Bambi.
Hey, I love animals too. I just love eating them also.
Oh Lord! I mean, that's how I sustain myself too. So I try to keep her feelings also because we love her.
Even though it is deer camp, you know what? I got a beer. I don't have my microphone, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear it as well. But here we go.
Oh yeah.
We got like a frame.
That was good. That's pretty good.
All right, good. Yeah, I'm just running straight off the laptop today, so.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
You know what? Let me get in before we get our special guests. So, a lot of y'all know that we traveled a whole lot this season, and we got to not only meet a lot of cool people, but we actually got to hang out with a lot of the players' families, especially at the away games, because since there was only very few of us that did go to these far away games, we were lucky enough to see the family on a regular basis. They knew who we were. One of them at our very last game, Savion Payton's mom, hung out with us for tailgate. Her, and I believe it was her brother. I want to say it was his uncle. So shout out to Savion Payton's mom. We've also got to meet his wonderful fiance, Amber. And recently she, because Veterans Day is coming up, and we want to make sure we do our duty. And I'm going to have a little QR code pop up here, but let me get this picture up really quick. Basically, her and her group are doing a, whatchamacallit? What's it called? Like a fundraiser. A fundraiser for veterans and homelessness. Here we go. Pulling it up now, so y'all ain't got to see me stuttering here. Ooh. Here we go. Period. So let me read you this bill. Veterans and homelessness should never be in the same sentence, and yet thousands of soldiers who bravely served our country find themselves either at risk or sleeping on the streets they fought to protect. Through this campaign, Camo Fundraiser, U.S. Vets raises awareness and funds to support our mission to end veteran homelessness in the United States while transforming what it means to wear camo here at home. So Veterans Day is November 11th, next Monday, so think about this. For as little as $12, U.S. Vets can feed a veteran for a day. $100 feeds them for 2 weeks. So every single dollar counts. We hope that you will find it in your heart to donate if you are able to. If not, they're asking for everyone to wear camo for the U.S. Vets and on Veterans Day. Post it on social media using Honor U.S. Vets hashtag, and to make camo your cause and tag U.S. Vets at the same time to show your patriotism, share your pride, and reinforce your support for our veterans. So that we just want to help out one of our players and his soon-to-be wife and the good deeds that they're trying to do. So there's a little QR code right there for Camo Fundraiser. You can find it right there. If you're able to donate, great. If not, wear your camo, tag them, show your pride. Let's thank our vets. We'll have a very great show next week on Veterans Day, and we'll still post this up to continue. But if you feel it in your heart, shoot up on that QR there and donate some money. Let's help our veterans. Oh, and their and the homelessness, which should not be a thing.
Absolutely, fantastic cause. You said it enough, Jackie. It's terrible. A lot of things that these veterans have to do. Going fighting overseas. Helping. Keep our freedoms as a country, and it just sucks that the positions that some of these are put in. Because of just different stuff that's going on. Disabled, all kinds of stuff. Just they go through terrible things, and just the condition that some of them are in, they need some help.
Yep.
This is an awesome cause, and absolutely.
No, this is definitely a cause that is kind of near and dear to my heart. As most of you know, I am working on my degree in psychology, and one of the things I planned on doing is helping U.S. veterans with like PTSD and things like that as they make the transition back to America and normal society and not being in combat zones and stuff. And so anything that we can do to help these folks out, man, we're all about it. So make sure, if you can, donate. If you can't, we understand. Times are hard right now, but get yourself some camo, show your support, let your friends and family know. If you can't, maybe one of them can. Let's try and help out. Let's try and drum up as much funds as we can to help this cause out, because it's an absolute worthwhile cause.
Yeah, and share it to your social medias too. If you can, like Jay said, a lot of people are going through tough times right now. You can't afford it. We totally understand that. Share it to your socials. Get it out there. As many people see this, as many people donate, it's just even better.
So, wait, do y'all see who's there?
Who is it?
Y'all.
I'm back.
Hello.
He's back. What is up, man?
What's up? Hey, just like I always do. This time is my little time, fool. So
there you go.
We ain't got any more than Brahma beers.
I got one left. It's still in the cooler. I'm afraid to open it though. So
I've got two. They're back there.
But yeah,
they're just visual.
Mine are all empty cans. So
Nope. Mine is just for show because I don't want to ruin the memory. Kind of like a certain team did to us in the past, but we're gonna leave it there. Let's go, America! Let's go. Speaking of,
go ahead.
Right? Americans love to do a little bit of travel, and we love friendly competition, and we love a challenge. As Tu Temporamacita said to start the show out, we did a lot of traveling, met a lot of incredible people. And you know what? I would be doing a great disservice to this person if I didn't do this next thing. So before we bring on our next guest, give me just a second to get ready for him.
The diva has to do a wardrobe change. Hold on.
Right.
I've been relegated to guest. Wow. Okay.
Bring on
sorry.
the boatman.
Bring him on.
Let me bring him on.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
It's going here in the Bluff City, Grindtown.
The boatman himself. Man, I'll never forget the day that we saw you in was it Liberty Simmons Stadium? And
right,
I was just
remember. Right behind us, the right-hand side.
Well, and the boatsmen will probably remember this part of SAJ, right?
They remember seeing you the whole time.
They remember that part of you. Everyone else remembers the backside of you.
True.
Hey, though,
True.
To a fan that had been giving y'all lip back and forth, and he came by, and it was just a few minutes left in the game. We are all, and I told him, I said, It's not over yet. I didn't know I was pulling a Nostradamus, but
Hey, no, we learned that the hard way the first year of our existence in the very
Yep.
first game, where it's like, nope, this isn't over. No, it could be 10 seconds left. Nope.
Nope.
Nope, I remember it though. The 8 against 8,000. Let me tell you what, the amount of heckling the 8 of us did get, and we took it with stride.
Yep.
You know what? And the amount of times I'll never forget Jorge and the yelling in my direction because that's not a boat horn.
They kept
That's
blowing
a
the train horn.
Yeah,
It was a
see?
train horn.
And it was so funny because it helped them egg it on more. So I kept hearing the stupid horn. But then even just I remember looking up to the back of to the back left side or right side, and there was this mysterious football player. I'm like, that is wild because this is I didn't pay attention to USFL prior. So I don't know what kind of fans like who gets dressed up. Like for us, it was different, the XFL games, because I watched all of them. So I remember and couldn't wait to meet them in person. And seeing you and not knowing a thing about you, I'm like, holy crap, that is so cool. Scary, but super cool.
And I'll never forget. I don't remember if it was like your local newspaper or someone. They described you as dressing up as an XFL-esque fan. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, what the heck?
Well, I mean, in truth, when I went the first year, the last year of the USFL there, before the merge, that I just went, regular dressed and everything, and just had a dang good time. But I would watch some of the highlights from XFL, and I'm like, I told my wife I keep getting younger and younger because the year before I had open heart surgery, and face that, I never had any surgery in my life, and they're telling me they're gonna open me up thing and stuff. I just too short, so I decided I'm gonna have that. Turned out to be the best critic. Just go have fun because we were horrible. So it made it a lot better for me not to sit up there and judge, just have a good time. And the thing that got me was I couldn't get over how many parents with their kids wanted pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That is very much,
I can't go
very
up there.
much a thing.
I'll not get back. I won't get back until like almost the end of the third quarter. It's crazy.
And that's the funny thing too, is because being around especially like Jorge, people want to stop. And I remember too, like we would think, look at this celebrity. Like we would get so annoyed. Like we're trying to get to our seats and everyone is stopping him. Like, come on already. And everyone's just treating him like, oh my God, it's Jorge. We're just like, it's just Jorge. Like, can we get to our seats? So I understand the phenomenon. The same thing when we have Brahma Babe with us too. Like you just have to stop and take pictures. So luckily, a lot of the times, like Brahma Babe, it was very rare that you saw her move out of her seat during a game. But Jorge, he's out and about during a certain quarter. I just know I would look over and he's gone. So it's either he's getting at more beer or he's stuck taking pictures or doing the celebrity.
Or he was
thing.
going to get beer and he got stopped. And
Yeah.
That's more accurate. I was going to get beer and then I got stopped.
Hey, when I get put backstage.
It was an accident. I was going to mute you because I'm like, holy crap, the echo.
Is it still there?
And then that
Yeah.
was also the very first game where I completely ripped my pants, and like people were trying to.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, people were trying to. I remember that heckling fan that you mentioned, Jeremy, or Boatman, I should say.
He was getting at it with y'all. I'm like, man.
Well, and the thing is he was trying to come at me with like all these insults about my ripped pants. I'm like, brother, you don't understand. This is air conditioning down here, my man. Like,
yes.
And like I was just like I was completely shutting down all of his insults, and I'm like, they'll learn eventually. You can't out troll the troll.
Yeah.
So if you can't,
well,
he just ran with it.
I looked at you, and I thought, well, I had pictures of you home in the Alamo Dome. Good thing he's that black outfit. That's a lot better idea. And I kept looking down there at you, and then came the end, and I'm up there with my wife, and Yeah.
You
And I went, I bet he feels that air coming in.
and that's because like we woke up and for us it was like freezing cold, and then by the time the game started, it got hot, and I was like, "Yo, this air conditioning is nice. This was meant to be."
and you
Man,
know what's funny?
that was the one that I was red.
We all got sunburned.
raccoon eyes.
Yes.
Man,
The thing is when we got there, it was freezing. Like we were getting blankets and stuff. And I remember saying the words, and I regret saying it because, yes, I was like, oh, Texas people aren't used to this weather. I'm like, don't worry, we're going to bring the heat on the field. And hell yeah, we did.
Yep.
That's the reason why
in the stadium.
I even normally would wear my hair in the bubbles. And that was the reason why I had to switch to a hat and braids. Is because in Memphis, I had this horrible sunburn where I split my hair and I could no longer like brush it. I'm like, forget it. Forget Memphis and their heat and their sun. Like Texas, I hate Texas heat, but dang, Memphis, what the heck?
It's hard to explain to people. After living in Dallas and being all over San Antonio and Waco, and Odessa, I still tell people I don't understand here. I can deal with it 100 like 100%.
Hold on, I think Jay's noise is overpowering everything. I'm gonna mute you real quick, Jay.
It's, dude, that noise that you're hearing?
Is somebody snoring?
That's the bulldog snoring. Sorry,
Jeez.
folks.
Okay.
I literally put like a sleeping dog or something.
It's like someone's snoring, but
I saw you had some wicked echo over there. Like I don't even hear that sound on the
That's loud.
podcast.
Welcome to the world of having a bulldog, folks. This is what you get to deal with every single time.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
So I guess
it's all good.
Getting into the future of the Memphis Showboats, I know you guys got a new coach with Ken Wisenhunt coming in, which I mean, the dude obviously has a really fine NFL resume as a head coach, having coached the Arizona Cardinals, and he's now coming to the UFL, bringing obviously a wealth of knowledge. I would say more so than most of the coaches there. So how do you feel about this upcoming season, knowing that you have what was an NFL head coach now leading your little toots?
And you know what? Not just
do it the
coach,
right way.
You've got a new quarterback as well. One that
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got Q over there. So
yeah. Let's talk about it real quick. Okay, so I look at it this way: new coach, new GM, new era.
There you go.
After getting to talk to Coach Wisenhunt, the one thing I like the most about him, believe it or not, had nothing to do with his resume. It had to do with the fact that he reached out to Daryl Johnston and said, "Hey man, I'm interested in this job." Here they are. They're talking about 4 or 5 candidates. They're getting interviewing them. He comes out of nowhere and says, "I'm interested in this job." And you can see that obviously that was great because they just ditched the 4 or 5 candidates and went, "Okay, you're it." And it's like, wow.
Nice.
Jim Manos is our GM. I couldn't be more thrilled. Being that I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, he was instrumental as player development and bringing in guys like Matt Milano and Sammy Watkins. He was even there. He left right before I think they basically drafted Josh Allen. It shows you the team that he had built. When he was with the Saints, I mean, he got in Roman Harper, Jimmy Graham. I mean, he's involved. He can see talent on the field. So I'm kind of thrilled about the Dormady thing because I actually liked him a lot. I kept feeling like but I didn't know you guys. I think Ferguson, but I was really interested. Sort of. I mean, Jordan, 30 solid. I hate losing, but at the same time, we had no quarterback really. So I mean, we really need Quentin's going to be a welcome addition to the roster, I think. And at this point right now, it's early. There's still going to be somebody else they're going to sign, especially, boy, the talk I had with Jim. We got to have a meet and greet with him, and it was great. I mean, it really was. It was a great.
Are they bringing Vinny back by any chance? Giving him a target?
Lord.
Paulie's coming back or not. I think that he's probably not going to, because he's really he's just fired up about doing this flag football thing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I say, hey, if that's what you like, go for it. But
yeah,
if he does come back, he's our property, so we got him. That's a good thing. But I think I'm more interested, actually, in my end. I'm hoping that David Davis, I hope that he has healed up good from that ACL tear. Because I told him after the last game, I said, this is it. This is your year. You've done it. Go get it, man. And I couldn't believe it. Within like 3 weeks, he signed with the Carolina Panthers. And it just broke my heart when I saw that he tore that ACL. And they're like, I was like, God, that's how it works in the NFL. I mean, gone the neck. But I think he'll get back. I really do. I mean,
he was a beast for you guys, so that's
I mean, if he could get the catch ahead of the secondary, it's over. They're never gonna catch him. I mean, I thought, man, I haven't seen guys run like that since like Rocket was Shard. I mean, he's gone. He's fast. Getting the ball to him, and that's kind of hard to get the ball to him when we don't really have an O line. We had a no line.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. We know the feeling.
That was season 1 of the Brahmas. That was we felt that.
We had a lot of the Olay blocking.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like you guys are in the position that we were in the first year of the Brahmas with Hines Ward at the helm.
Yep.
All the problems that you guys experienced last year is what we dealt with the year before that. So we feel your pain, man.
Yeah. I think it's like a intro to the XFL UFL combo. Like if you weren't there already and now you're coming in, that was like your unfortunate year, your unfortunate season.
And, I mean, it could have been worse. Y'all could have been the Renegades, and that's already bad enough. I mean, to go from champs to chumps right away, swimming in the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Yeah.
But
we do got a couple of questions for you too. So
it's uncharted waters here, and I hate to use that. So pardon the pun, but it's uncharted waters. It's going to be the third year for spring football in Memphis. That's never happened.
Yeah.
The Showboats did 2 seasons. You had the Memphis Maniacs in the XFL. That lasted 1 season. You had the Memphis Mad Dogs in the Canadian Football League. How that happened, I don't know.
Hey, you know what? We had the San Antonio Texans for the Canadian Football League. So
and the Wings and the Commanders and the
Riders.
The Riders and the Gunslingers of the USFL that I'll never forget that they had. At one point, it got to the point where they said there's one bank that's like a 30-mile drive south of San Antonio, and the first 6 people to get there will get their checks cashed. After that, you're, SOL.
Yep.
And I'm just like, wow.
Yep.
Like a cannonball run.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was like it was in Lavernia, so everybody was driving down 87 going out of town, and
like we were friends on the field. Get out of my way.
Pretty much.
All right, so Brahma Babe, I'm sure you remember her. She's the very beautiful blondie that was with us. She wants to know how the renovation's going. Are you happy with them? Same kind of question from XFL Mike. Also, have you been back to Liberty Bowl with the construction going on?
I went and saw North Texas play the Tigers a couple of weeks back, and the renovation I don't think is going to affect anything at all with the UFL next season. It's kind of neat actually where we sat at. I was like, this is really cool. I can watch the game, the play on the field, and keep an eye on my car at the same time.
Nice.
With the gaping holes.
But yeah, I don't think they really are doing a first-class job of making it look clean. Not like, You don't go to the game and look up and go, what the hell happened there? It's not like that. It's just like, you almost think the stadium's always been that way at first. You're like, well, that's crazy looking. So I don't know when they're going to work. I get a feeling they're going to start doing more of the renovation. They've done the demo, getting all that down. Now they'll start the renovation, I'm assuming, as soon as the Tigers football season's over with.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will come to a halt come end of March there when the season starts up. So
We got a fun question. Can you
Yep.
see through your visor because Jason Leroy can't see crap through his? That's from our Captain Brahma.
you learn to do it.
Well, no,
It's helpful in the sun.
Keep it,
Yeah.
on that. But keep in mind too, mine's not quite near as dark as Jason's there.
Yeah.
well, and shout
Dark.
out to our friend Sol Rock Cardenas and the End Zone helmet painting.
Yes.
Mine was ready to go, but the visor was a rush job because I happened to be in Houston when he said it was ready to go, and he's like, "Oh crap, I don't have a visor. Do you mind if I just throw this one on there so you can see it?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I'm gonna take it with because I'm not coming back to Houston." So he threw it on, got my helmet. You can see there's like smudges and there's just gunk all over it. And so no lie, thanks to Tiny Little Baby Cap's comment, look what I'm looking at
Oops.
in another browser.
Stop it.
Oakley's the way to go.
Yep. So,
How
Speaking from
funny.
but I
experience.
think
But-
Little baby cat.
Little Baby
Yeah.
Cap.
Little baby cat. But let me shout out our guy real quick. We got the Jay got the idea from the Boatspin when we saw him when we
Mhm.
all became UFL Familia. He gave us the information on Carlos, who owns the End Zone helmets. They're a small family-owned business as well as a women veteran-owned company, period. He's been working with the community for the past 20 years. They're located in Houston, Texas, in the Kingwood area. So they can take the helmets locally or ship it from anywhere. They do custom painting, chrome helmets for collectors, super fans, charity events, companies, or for fundraising, any kind of events for any type of football fanatic. I'm going to throw the information right now into the chat. You can find him on all the social medias as well. So at the End Zone helmets. So I'm going to go ahead and put all that in there right now. But shout out to him and his amazing work. Jay has our Baby Horns Forward podcast helmets, as well as the full San Antonio Brahma one.
And I think if I remember correctly, I think he's also had some
Celebrities,
celebrity
yep.
clients like
Oh, yeah.
Deion Sanders.
It's had celebrity. Mhm.
And so I would say, or I don't know. I'm guessing. Am I wrong?
It was the one and only world famous Green Bay Packers defensive player, Charles Woodson.
Charles
And
Woodson. I don't know why I was thinking Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
And
Charles
his
Woodson.
delicious bourbon.
So if Charles Woodson, NFL Hall of Famer, can trust him with this kind of work, just shows you the quality of work that this man does.
Oh, and if you get a chance, look those helmets up, man. They are absolute fire. The
That's great.
detail he did,
Yes.
spot on, baby.
It's the other thing though about Carlos that's so good is it's not just the quality of the work he does, but it's customer relations. I mean, he stays in communication with you. You don't get that from other places. It's like, here's your helmet. I mean, I'm not going to name them, but I'll say that they're kind of they got a lot of anonymity. They'll do an email. That's it. They'll go over the stuff with you, and okay, your order's done. It'll be on the way. And problems, which you got to go back. There won't be a problem with Carlos, just because if you see it, he's like, okay, we get that fixed. Absolutely work with.
Yeah, 100% true story. We actually talked about the graphics on this helmet, right?
Yep.
When we originally looked at the proofs of what he was going to do, the horns were a little bit further back. They didn't quite match up with what the team looked like. And so he sent the proofs over. We all looked at them as a group, and we were like, it's close, but it's not exactly right. And he immediately said, okay, let me go back to my graphics guy and I'll get these fixed. Hang on. And like literally that quickly, within, I'd say maybe 2 hours, sent over another preview. And he's like, how does this look? Does this look better? Let me know what needs to be adjusted, whatever. He made sure to get me the right size helmet with the right size padding for my big fat head.
5XL.
Well, it's actually a 6X, but who's counting? But yeah, I mean, this guy goes all out to the ends to make absolutely sure every one of his customers is satisfied. So whether you need a custom helmet like this made, something for like your Pop Warner football team or something like that, make sure you reach out to him, see what kind of work he can do for you, because I'm telling you, every penny was worth what I spent on this, what we spent on our mini helmets. And he does mini helmets too, by the way. So if you've got like a company gathering, maybe you've got a fantasy football league where BD keeps losing to everybody, including the off season. He can make you just about anything that you need. So make sure you
Christmas around the corner.
And just for full FCC disclosure, we are not getting paid to say this. That was just something we just like his products.
Yeah, I'm just that big of a fan.
That's it. So
Boatsman. So I mean, when you decided you wanted to kind of transition from regular fan to super fan and dress up, what made you decide, hey, I'm going to go full uniform, full jersey, everything?
Well, it started with Carlos, actually. He sent me a shot of a guy at a Cleveland Browns game who looked like he could literally just step out of his seat, walk down, jump the rail, and go play. And I laughed, and I said, well, I want it to be obvious I'm not playing. So I almost the kilt, but I just couldn't find the kilts to work right. So after watching the guys in practice, I'm like, okay, we'll go with the shorts and the compression pants and all that and everything. We'll do that. I didn't want to just be with a helmet, so I like I said, watching the XFL, when my wife said, oh my God, I don't want to sit next to you, I'm going to be on TV, I can't see, she doesn't like it. She's almost as bad as people in witness protection. No, I don't want to be photographed.
Sounds like my wife
on the Jumbotron, and I'm like, sorry, but no, I just decided, okay. Like I said, I'm gonna be a big kid. I'm gonna have fun. Life's too short.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what we all do. We live our fantasy.
And all of them. I mean, seeing what they check that dude out, I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
It's but I still can't get over the fact that like your local news called you XFL-esque fan. I'm just like, I don't know if I should say that's a compliment or an insult. So I'm just like, what the heck is that supposed to mean?
I think in more cases, a compliment, because the guy that interviewed Commercial Appeal was great. I mean, and no offense to the Commercial Appeal, but they tend to swing things very negatively. But he's when he saw me at that one game, he's like, I got to go find that guy and get a picture of him. Of course, granted, the first photo he did of me, I'm sitting there with a guy next to me and nobody else. So that tend to play to their, nobody's coming out to the games. And, well, nobody's coming out to the games when you stink that bad. And the other problem is too, and I hope it does change. They keep saying it's going to, just not yet. But I'll be a lot happier. Markets like Birmingham, and especially markets like Memphis, you're going to have the team here in the community so that they can do things like go talk to kids at school, go over to St. Jude. They can go to business like FedEx, like that. They can't do when they're in Arlington.
Preach.
Guys that are on IR during the season and say, hey, we're still paying you, so get your butt here, and you're going to go around to the schools. You're going to go to the local business, the hospitals. They're going to have to do that because it comes down to community. I mean, you can look at what you guys do as a podcast, and that's a perfect sign to them. Community. If you're not engaging the community, it's not going to succeed. I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, the only thing they can do in Arlington is go to a strip mall and get a payday loan. That's about it.
What you saying, John? I got them big old eyes on too, sir.
Oh, the construction's gonna be
Yeah.
on the Brahma sideline. Oh, I see how it works. So we're gonna be sitting in gaping holes in your, you know, we
Oh
visit.
man, I don't know. All I gotta say, as long as we get to hang out with Chapman, we don't care if Chapman blocks us. We welcome
Oh,
Chapman.
yeah. I think Chapman from ESPN Chapman is nicer than
Yeah.
Fox Chapman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I will say, I think we're the only fan base that truly appreciates him.
yeah.
Yeah.
He has his own chant and everything.
Well, and I will be honest.
Earlier, Jay, you were talking about the visor not being able to see.
Yeah.
You're going to appreciate that visor, though, when you go to one of the outdoor games and that sun's blaring down. You're
Oh,
also actually like the visor when it rains. Of course, you're going to want to, it rained at one of the games. I think it was against Michigan. I mean, they were clearing out, and I'm just sitting there just.
Nice.
Bother me no.
Now,
How funny.
I will say, going back to the construction comment, if it is on the Brahma side, I mean, BD and I don't have a problem sitting on the home side just to make it even worse for them.
We do have a group of fans that call themselves the Brahma's destruction crew that dresses up like construction guys. So it's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Woohoo! The cell staff's drumming up something special for the sideline.
Nice. Oh.
I'm a sideline girl, so I'm all about it. Whatever y'all got going.
John's starting to break news for us here.
Yeah.
He's the director of tickets, I believe that's your title for the San Antonio. Yeah, for the San Antonio Brahmas. So if you haven't got your season tickets yet, John can direct you to James, who is our wonderful ticket guy. So
I just finished paying mine off, so I am all locked and loaded and secured.
Yep.
And I still, for 3 front row season tickets in the Alamo Dome, paid $400 less than I would have for one 3-day weekend in Lambeau Field in Green Bay.
Period.
That's
the beauty.
That's the beauty of it.
But I mean, this isn't the show to talk about that. We can definitely talk about that tomorrow.
You don't want to do it this year, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, do you really want to pay that much?
Save that money.
Not by Detroit. I mean, come on now.
Honestly, I have not watched the NFL games. I don't even know how they're doing this year.
Hey, BD and Jackie. How about them?
Hey, look.
Hey, you know what? We did better. We did better than the Packers did yesterday. So
look.
at least.
Hey, maybe we have hope since old Dak is gonna be out.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyways,
maybe this is the turnaround.
NFL. We're going to talk about the UFL. Jeremy, my man.
Yes.
What big things are you looking forward to? I mean, we've already alluded to new coach, new quarterback, potential other players returning and things. What would be one thing that the team can do, one person that they could bring back that would absolutely just make you the happiest fan on earth?
Vinny.
Well, when I talked to Jim Manos about it, a lot of the guys I wanted to see, Dalen Mack, John Atkins, they've all re-signed. Seeing that Daywood he's coming back. That was great news right there. I'm more wanting to see the new players we get, especially I want to see what they address, because that was told to me immediately. He said he had heard the joke where I said it was not an O-line, it was a no line, and he said that who got that comment out there, because that's all we heard. And I'm like, well, it's because it's
true.
They said that was a month ago. At that point, they're going to sit down and because coach just got hired. He's got to do all the PR stuff right now, but then he's got to sit down. They got to go over game footage. They got to start looking at scouting. They got to look at what players do we even waste our time with. But Jim had said, he told him, I'll get you an offensive line. And I'm like, that's what I needed to hear.
Reassurance.
Put Vinny on the offensive line. You want to win, put Vinny in.
Yeah. Quentin will be road. He has the same line in front of him. I mean, it won't work. work at all. I mean, I don't know how many starts he had for San Antonio, but I think he got sacked like something like 12 times. And I'm thinking, well, that's okay because Case Cook has got sacked 20 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And that was
Still
in
an
week
upgrade.
one.
So it's
like with
a lot to take in right now. It's very, like I said, it's uncharted waters here because we're going into our third season. But on top of that, it's just it's hope is it's like, thank God I got this because the future looks bright now for us. That's not,
And that's good. We had that, San Antonio going from year one to year two. We had Wade come in and kind of a complete overhaul of the team. And you could just, us as a fan base, we were excited, even though, we were 3-7 the first year. We were really excited to start season 2, and so, I mean, I'm a big fan of Memphis, other than obviously San Antonio. Y'all are probably one of my favorite teams. So I'm kind of excited for you guys to be where we were last year.
I was thrilled that you guys went as far as you did. I don't know if Jay remembers it or not, but remember I told you at the Liberty Bowl at that game, I said, I got you guys going 8-2. And I think you were a little floored. I said that, and I'm like, no, I got you going 8-2. I didn't want one of the 8 to be that day, but I got the Brahmas going 8-2 because of the overhaul. Because I thought that what Wade was doing the year before was very good, and he's bringing all that with him, and he's going to be able to pick more and do more. And he's going to do a good job with that team. I think the only thing that I was kind of like, just did you get the license plate on what happened? I mean, it was the championship. I didn't see that.
We gotta talk about this all the time.
That one,
Hate it.
I feel like there was more at play, like just something wasn't right.
We got our own conspiracy theories over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So we don't
wasn't
like
right
to
there.
spread rumors.
No, but just something
between us.
Something felt wrong. Something didn't feel right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was they inhaled too much dust from that damn dusty.
Yeah, the
bowl
chicken
and,
bowl.
So it is playing there 3 weeks in a row was just way too
Yeah.
much for the
It's-
team. They couldn't handle it.
honestly, as someone who made that trip 3 weeks in a row, if I never go back to St. Louis again, I'll be
Nope.
a happy man.
I don't plan
You
to.
gotta
They
go
ain't getting a
twice
dime
this
of
year.
my money.
I'm still
Hey.
irritated taking a game away from y'all.
And moving it to St. Louis.
Could it not be in Houston? Could it not be in Arlington? Could it not be somewhere else? Like, could it have been in Austin? Why St. Louis? And I don't want to hear it because the fans come out. They don't care about coming to see the Brahmas play. I'm like, they go to their team play.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what they're going to do, though, because St. Louis gets an extra game out of the deal, and the UFL is going to make more money off of it that way. At least that's my theory.
Oh, that's not even a guess.
Look,
That's
we got a guest coming on in a few weeks. I'm not gonna pay now. They can explain everything for us. So that's all I gotta say. It's gonna be somebody from the Brahmas. Period. And they're gonna explain everything. I promise you. So just look out. In a couple of weeks, we have a very special guest, and they're gonna explain schedule, reasonings, things of that sort to help everyone understand. And the rumors can be shut down.
Yeah, then maybe we can move on from this.
Yeah. So we can move on to the next positive 4 home games, 4 tailgates.
One positive that we may be able to see, and this is just like a league-wide thing, specific to St. Louis, but if they could just dust off the seats, maybe that would be great, and have some food inside the stadium.
Do you remember how dusty it was? Because I think in between your stomps, beers fell, and it was literally mud.
Yeah.
We were stepping on mud.
We were stepping on mud indoors with a turf field. How do you get mud indoors in a turf field?
That's crazy.
Funny that you mentioned that. So St. Louis made it a big point to talk about the field upgrades. They finally upgraded the turf because that was the turf that the Rams played on.
Dude, that turf wasn't even from this century. So
right. They talked about upgrading the lighting and all this other stuff. And I will say, I give credit to our St. Louis friends that we have over there because they don't have a problem turning on their own. At least 4 of them that we know over there said, hey, what about dusting the place for our visitors?
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Mad love to them for pulling out their own organization.
Just run a leaf blower through the place, get a few of them going, something.
Seriously, I got to do the shop. I
Like-
mean, that's how you get it out of there. Come on.
Like, did you guys play in St. Louis or?
Yeah, they did. I didn't go to the game, but a few
No,
people-
you didn't miss much.
Where
Save
probably-
your lungs.
You saved your lungs a little bit. I mean, you could have been in a bar full of nothing but smokers, and your lungs would have been more protected there.
So did you make any road games this
No.
past season?
None this last season. I'm really hoping to this season. I know that the yacht club, the captain Bill Alexander, he's getting something organized. We're probably going to make a trip to see Birmingham. My wife and I want to come down to San Antonio for that one.
Yes.
You know, like I said,
Absolutely.
That'll be fun.
91 since I've been down there, and I'd love to take her to see the Alamo and everything, and go see the guys play the Brahmas. I mean, I think that's a
Tailgate.
Well, come on down. We'll take care of you.
perfect
So-
weekend. I'll probably, and if I come, then we talked about Carlos, and I know he's probably thinking, where is it? Nobody's seen this, so this is like real quick. That's the thing about being the super fan thing, is I also learned from Jorge, it doesn't have to be just, so that Memphis Heat you're talking about, this is going to come in real handy.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
That's going to come in real handy on one of those. And then, of
Yep.
course, there's also going to be like a retro game. We're that for
We're
the
babies. We don't get retro
Nice.
yet.
Yeah.
the Minister of Defense. That outfit, I'm actually going to have the little preacher's collar and everything. So
Oh, that's
See,
awesome.
We could technically go retro with the USFL because we had a team there, but they already exist as an arena team, so that wouldn't really count.
No.
Yeah, that would just be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But so two things. You come down here to San Antonio, make sure you meet up with our co-host DJ, who's not here right now, and ask him to give you a tour of the Alamo basement. Okay. And then I can't remember what the other thing was that I was going to say, but you come on down, you come hang out with us. We'll show you a great time. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys showed us nothing but hospitality. You've got Texas blood in you too. You've already admitted it yourself. You know how famous Texas
Yeah.
is for their hospitality. Come on down, let us show you what it's all about, and you're going to be right back at home. So
yeah,
I guarantee you will not have a better tailgating experience, and we've heard this from multiple fan bases than
Mhm.
what you will experience in San Antonio.
that's when I've looked at all the pictures on social media and I watch people's their tailgating and stuff, because this was actually my first year to actually experience tailgating. The year before, like I said, I didn't know anybody in the yacht club. I was just, get my tickets and go to see the football game. That was it. But I got to go to the tailgating, and they make an event out of it. And it had to be good if we're going to watch the game that bad. A lot of us joked, why don't we just stay out here in the parking lot and tailgate? But it literally was that good. And I'd look online and go, I see that looks even remotely similar to ours. Definitely San Antonio, and then maybe St. Louis. But St. Louis, it's like there comes a point where I'm like, that's too many people.
There's a city. I will say we probably tailgate so hard that they restrict us to only 4 hours. If we had the open availability like Memphis did,
Yeah.
it'd probably be a different story. We'd probably be a lot more drunker then. But
Free
they
event,
restrict.
baby.
Yeah,
Free event.
we're restricted to 4 hours before they open the gates. So
The group, the team, their front office is really working hard with the yacht club to accommodate us. I think tailgating is going to go up from like a 10 to it's going to go up to 11. It's like up to 11.
Nice.
yeah, up to 11.
Nice.
Hey,
Well, They're going to
speaking
go out a lot.
speaking of 11, though, I've got to ask your boat commander, is he going to be working with a new AI software, or can we expect 11 and 12 finger boat captain pictures again?
I don't know. I know I joke about that. I look at it and I'm like going, man, that looks really cool. And I enlarge it and I go, oh my God, everybody's faces are melting.
Yeah.
No, and then I'll never forget that one picture that he put where he was so proud of it, and it's literally a boat captain abandoning 2 ships and going on a lifeboat on his own. I'm just like, that's not what a boat captain's supposed to do.
That's AI crazy. But Bill does a lot of stuff for the yacht club, and like I said, we all call him the captain. I mean, he's really great. I mean, he's got Vintage Varsity. He and I think his son also helps run that one. Actually, I think his son may be running it, and Bill does some other stuff. But it's just that right there is what I'm talking about. You've got leadership amongst the fan base to get some things done, and it helps the front office of these teams. I'd like to see the UFL listen and do a little bit more because, like I said, we really got to get some of these teams back in the community. And I understand what Russ said and everything about, it's coming, but it's not yet and everything. And they like to say, 2,000 a game, that's not good. And I'm like, no, it's not good. But at the same time, I hate to put a sour taste in your mouth. Don't blame us. That's not all our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think the UFL kind of did a lot of what the XFL was trying to do and build a fan base kind of from grassroots, like have the fans do it and the teams kind of come on top of that, which is fine. It works sometimes, but you have to have involvement from the league as well. And I absolutely agree with what you're saying. The teams need to be able to get to these cities earlier. If they're gonna practice and be housed in Arlington, I mean that's fine. But Thursday, Friday in the week, come to the city you're playing in, and do community events. Kind of get out there and be the face of the team for the city. So that's the way you really grow community involvement for this.
I think if they're going to do a Sunday game, then they definitely should be Friday morning. They should be.
Yeah.
And talking about what you're talking about, the way XF, they have a system going. Okay, the USF had a different system, and they were a year ahead of it. They were doing this stand, crawl, walk scenario. And so their first season, they were just standing. They had everybody based in Birmingham. Next season, they're crawling. They started putting two teams in different hubs. They were going to expand on that in the third season, but the merge came. See, that's what happened now that hurts the market in places like Memphis and Birmingham in particular. And I don't know so much about Detroit up in Michigan, but suddenly now you pull back from the communities and you put these teams all based in Arlington. And a lot of fan base in the XFL says, but that's what we did. I'm like, I know, but that's not what we did. And that's kind of.
Yeah, they had to do a lot of give and take for it. So we're already used to it. That's why even during season 1, we decided as a fan group and a podcast, like, if they're not able to do it, if this is how it's going to be for now, then how are we going to spread the word and how much we love football and the community that we've built? So that's why we've tried to do things on our own just to even get the word out. We'll even reach out to our ticket. Like, we have great relationships with some of our ticket people, with some of the front house, and they've been amazing. And maybe we can't promote, but we're going to show up for you, and they'll show up and give out swag and stuff. And, we help as much as we can. That's the only bad part about the setup, how it is. I'm sure it's going to evolve. My hopes and everyone's hopes is that we have our team here. But we understand the frustration, especially if you guys were already on a track to have something different to where they were in the community. So right now it's just us. We do what we have to do. We even asked for an office. What can we do? How can we help? How can we help you guys?
A lot of the yacht club here is really good about it. I told them, and I said, I'm turned into a freak. I don't wear around town, but 6 out of the week, I got some showboat swag on, and I've constantly got people asking me. And we were at Apple the other day, and you just don't know what it's like when somebody goes, showboats, is that a soccer team?
No, so that's actually something I wanted to ask you about is, like, how is the community starting to adapt to it? Because I remember for us, the first year, you would wear a Brahmas t-shirt, and they're like, what is that? You know, who? And they're like, it's a professional football. It's like, we have a professional football team? Yeah, they play in the Alamo Dome. They're from the XFL. I was like, the league from, like, 2000 from the wrestling? And like, no, it's like, it's a different league now. The Rock, and as soon as you say The Rock owns it, oh, okay, cool, whatever. That was year 1. Last year, it became more known like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that football team at the beginning. Then, we did good. And so you started seeing more people out there with Brahma's t-shirts and gear during
We
the
got
season.
recognized at airports, everything. It was wild.
And people, it got to the point where like you see someone in the grocery store wearing a Brahma's t-shirt and you'd be like, hey, yo, yeah, this guy knows what's up. And now, even after the season, you'll still see people wearing Brahma's gear. It may not be as prevalent just because it's not in season, but it's definitely something that the community has become more aware of and more embracing of. They've embraced it a lot more than, compared to year one.
No,
So I
yeah,
wanted to
definitely.
ask kind of like in Memphis, like how has the, like, if someone sees someone, I mean, I guess you kind of answered it, but like if someone sees you wearing a Showboats gear or something,
Out
like,
of 5,
what's the reaction?
3 out of 5 people, when they walk by, I'll hear them go vote. But
Okay.
it just when 2 out of 5 go, what's the Showboats? I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you just move here? I mean,
Yeah.
Living under a rock.
So I mean,
Is
so
that a
question,
casino?
I mean, if you get 3 out of 5 people that know what is you're wearing, why was the attendance so low at the stadium? Is it just because the team had a really down year, or
Yep.
that's very much
A
it.
nail on the head.
They didn't give Vinny the ball enough. That's why.
Fans and say fickle, they don't come out when the team loses. And I'm like, yeah, that's that I've seen that everywhere.
Look here.
Like,
yeah,
I mean, the best example is that it hurts because they're not in the market and the team was really bad. Birmingham didn't have the same turnout. They were back-to-back champs.
yeah, even Birmingham had low turnout for. I mean,
But
Their
not
turnout was
St. Louis is up here. Then you have like DC, San Antonio, we're like right here, and like everyone else. I mean, yeah, Houston sucked. Arlington sucked. Memphis,
Arlington,
sorry,
but-
y'all kind of sucked too. But Birmingham, great record, only had 1 loss. You're welcome. But
Go
they
Boats.
had, what, 8,000, 9,000 at the most attend the game. So it's even the really good team had crappy attendance.
Yeah, and I would think that we can build on it, but it's going to be, to me, next season is going to be a real telltale. I heard John talking about, everybody hoping to, that see the teams their own. I'll be honest with you, I'd be lying if I didn't say that many of us in the yacht club are hoping just to see our team in the UFL, because when you hear, the higher up say, hey, 2000's not cutting it. Like I said, even though it's not all our fault, that doesn't change the fact it's a business. They're quick to move. Everybody's saying you're gone. Memphis is gone. I'm like, no, that's too soon. If they bail on it like that, it will leave fans in San Antonio and Houston and Arlington thinking, you're going to bail on us or something, trying to get the flag. They get through it. They got to ride it out and everything. But, I think that Wisenhunt coming in, Jim being GM, you're going to see a nice change. I mean, we're going to see a competitive team on the field. I just can't imagine it. Although last year, if it's a good point I proved, last year, right before the season started, that roster we had looked so good on paper. They play on turf, not on paper. So that explains that. I mean, they didn't amount to what we thought they would be. And obviously, going to have great. Flip was great and everything. Nice work. It felt like the players didn't have it and they didn't want to play. I mean, you could sit down there on the sideline, which, it was too soon for the game when y'all were there. But by the end of the season, I'm sitting down there right on them, and I'm watching how the players interact, and I'm like, that's not a cohesive feel. It just didn't seem right. Like, this is going pretty far to explain why they're not doing very well. It just, some guys look like they were trying, and a bunch of guys look like they weren't. And then the O-line, I'm sorry, the no line looked like they won. It didn't matter. They just
That Olay blocking right there.
yeah, they couldn't get anything done. So, and that brings down, I mean, you got to look at it. They went through all three quarterbacks, and the most productive one was the one that they waited until the season was almost over with. And that was Josh Love. So, I mean, I think what did Love have? I think Love had like a total of like 69 yards, but he only sacked 4 times. So, that's not bad. I mean, as opposed to
Hey, when you have 69 yards, everybody wins.
Well, I don't think that quite translates out in football that way.
But yeah, like I said, it's uncharted waters here, but it's a new era. We're looking forward to it. The yacht club's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the tailgating. I'm looking forward to this year will be different again because now unfortunately you guys won't be making the road trip up here because we're going to come down there. But we'll see the Arlington fans come in. I get to meet a few of them, I'm hoping. And then we'll
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are all right. All right, a couple of them are all right, but
yeah,
No.
of course, I think what's his name, Excalibur from the Lou. I think he said he's
Yes.
so.
He's
Great
a good
guy.
dude. He's a
Yeah,
good dude.
very good.
Yeah.
guy.
A quite valiant night.
Yes,
Good people.
so I'm looking forward to meeting
Tip
them.
my
And
hat to him.
I'm hoping that we get a better team because I'm telling you, there's a good rivalry to have between St. Louis and Memphis because it's just back and forth right up the river, a few hours away. That's a good thing to have. I mean,
hey,
it's just,
St. Louis is our rivalry. All right, you got to get your own. All right.
Yeah.
No,
I would
right.
say, but there's no such thing as a rivalry when it's one-sided.
Well, I mean, I think our rivalry is definitely Arlington is definitely a rival.
Your
right?
rival is Arlington. Like
No,
the rest
we
of the
have
city-
Look.
we have the hat, but
We
there's
have the
just,
I-35. They can have up the stream.
like
Yeah.
it's
Something like that.
It's a fun rivalry, kind of like Texas Tech versus Texas. Let's say if we were comparing college, but St. Louis and San Antonio has kind of become Texas versus Texas A&M. Yeah, they just don't like each other.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, since Arlington isn't any worth anything, I thought you were going to say it's kind of like a rivalry like University of North Texas versus SMU because our Mean Green just never seemed to beat them.
The Mean Green, there's nothing mean about them.
No. But they're a better team this year, though. They're really looking good. So, I mean, I'm happy about that, but it always feels like every season's a rebuilding season. But, hey, I got to be loyal to the alumni,
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the UFL, though. XFL say that it's never going to be the same every season. It's going to just be, you can never expect what you expected the last season.
Yeah.
You just got to put your trust in your coach, which I know that we know exactly what you're feeling, like the energy, and that's how we felt with Wade. And now it's in Wade we trust. Whoever he gets, I trust him. He's shown that he knows what he's doing.
Trust the system. And then on top of that, I know we're not this coming season, but the next season you'll probably be looking at expansion. And, that's a weird one too. I keep thinking that at some point they need to give because they're still playing the whole thing of the XFL conference and the USFL conference. Well, then I think it's probably best because they're not the gamblers. That's over with now. I mean, I don't care if it was part of their roster. This coming season, it won't be. I think at some point they're going to need to go ahead and pull the Roughnecks back into the XFL, and maybe at that time they might be able to pull, I don't know, put the New Orleans Breakers back in, or
New Jersey Generals,
or better yet, probably the Philadelphia Stars. It's going to come down to where they can play. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Got to have a field to play on. So, but I mean, it sound weird to bring 2 USFL teams in. But at the same time, if you did that and bumped Houston back over, well, then it's 10 teams right there. You know, it's not possible.
You do that, you'd really, really piss off the Seattle fans because they're
Yeah.
already mad about being left out this time. But
I miss my Sea Dragons.
I just can't see Seattle in it right now because of the distance, unless they can pop somebody in Arizona and San Diego. I mean, they're going to have somebody. You can't just have Seattle out there. That doesn't sound financially wise. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
The
That's how-
flights from Arlington to Seattle aren't cheap.
Yeah, Seattle's. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see it working. I mean, because they got to have teams to play against them, and I really can't see it working if they're going to be flying them out from Arlington all the way out there. At some point,
Yep.
that's not cost effective. So I
Well-
get why they knock Seattle out right now.
Yeah, and that's again exactly it. Why they got bumped in the first place.
Yeah.
It wasn't like their fan base wasn't showing up. It's just the cost
It
of
probably
everything.
paying them to do that. It
Yeah.
probably paying them to say we got to cut them loose and everything because the people were showing up for that.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
But all right, well, Jeremy, definitely want to thank you so much again for coming out and joining our show tonight. Absolute blast hanging out with you in Memphis. Can't wait for you to come on down here to San Antonio. Remember, all we have is Riverwalk. I don't think you're going to be able to get that showboat down there on the Riverwalk, so you're probably not going to do so well here. But that's okay because we love you anyways. We'll make sure we got some good tacos and some good beer for you, and it's just awesome stuff. But
We'll be looking to
Well-
get some.
okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set you back in the green room if you want to hang out there for a little bit. Jackie's got to do some announcements and pay some bills for us, and then we can bring you back on to end the show if you want. But we're like way over our time limit here, so give us a couple
Such
seconds.
a good convo.
Yeah. We're not syndicated. We don't have a time limit.
I
That's
do.
true.
I told y'all this time changing is time changing on me.
Yeah.
It is hard. Thanks,
Yeah.
Boatsman. I'm gonna throw you in the back now.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know what bills we gotta pay, but it's just because it's time, y'all.
It's-
I gotta work tomorrow. I got
That's
these
part of
dogs
that
I
structure.
gotta
I'd
take
be up
out.
at 4:30 to get into a deer blind. So
I
yeah,
know. Hey,
and then
dear.
snore and
Hey.
scare them all off. You'll be fine.
that's right.
Period.
So Jorge, you have a
So, but-
request?
Yeah, we definitely do. I just gotta carve out
He's-
the time for it.
He's taking it slow. He's taking it slow, Pablo.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
hey.
We're getting there.
I'm trying to. I almost wasn't gonna make this one here today, but I'm glad. I was
Happy you
able
did.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good to see you, man. We've missed you.
If it helps you, Jorge, I'm on day 47 of Duolingo. All right, I'm coming along.
okay.
I might be able to have a 2-sentence conversation with you soon.
Hey, I'm just look. I found out today that the United States is the second most Spanish-speaking country in the world behind Mexico. So it's beneficial that you're learning.
Period.
I need it so I can talk to my employees because apparently, you know, naturalized white males don't seem to want to do construction anymore. I don't know what the hell's happening to this country, man. But it's all good.
Oh,
it's
my
all good.
Lord.
Okay. Real quick,
Well,
shout
okay.
out Rig
Go
Rocker.
ahead.
You want,
Oh, yeah.
you want to talk about Rig? And
Oh
his-
yeah, I've already
his
posted
thing?
it. There is a post on our Facebook. Please check him out. There's pictures there so you can see some of the work he does. But Christmas around the corner. You've got Rig Rocker. You've got Carlos and the helmets. Like there are super fans out there that you can make very happy with these customized gifts. So please hit them up. But we also just want to make a shout out to AFN. Thank you for the support. To our brother station, Texans Talking Football. Y'all can watch them tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time. Please check them out. They talk all things football. So not just UFL. They talk it all.
Yep.
It all.
And Rig, I'm gonna be giving you a holler real soon because I need to make that trip to Houston. So if you're there this weekend, I know you've been taking care of Mama Rig, so mad props to you for doing that. But I'm giving you a holler because I may be making that trip
A
to
holler?
Houston so I can get that special gift for my special someone.
Period. Also, last camo fundraiser, I will post it on our page. Also, I will have it up next week as well. Help our veterans and the homelessness problem that we do have. This does help them out. You.
Yep.
So yeah. What else, guys? Is that it?
That's it.
I think that's pretty much it. We don't really have a whole lot of news or anything to talk about, but
Oh wait. Yeah,
we've
we
got
do.
some
For
incredible
retirement.
stuff.
We do.
Oh, we
got
do
some-
have some.
We got
Let's talk
happy,
about some
sad,
retirement.
bittersweet news. Hendy retiring, and Latimer. Thank you guys so much for the amazing season, everything you put on the field.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to see you in all of those games. I wish we could have gotten that championship to seal the deal, but either way, you guys, we got our XFL championship. So thank you so much.
I know we knew Latimer was going to retire. He
Mhm.
said it at the beginning of last year that it was going to be his last, but now that it's
It's still
official,
sad.
it still sucks. Like, man, oh my god, loved watching him, man.
No,
And-
but I'll always cherish that I have this right here.
whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa,
Pounce,
whoa.
pounce
Sir.
alert.
Here, look. This right here, official game ball used in the XFL or UFL championship. So, this is a ball that they actually played with.
Heck yeah.
And so,
I mean, they didn't score with it, but hey, you know what? They did touch it.
They held it.
but you know what? Just having that connection with them
Yeah.
forever through this ball, it means a lot. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for everything you did, not just for the Brahmas, for the UFL, but also for San Antonio. So this one's for y'all.
Yep. So I think that's pretty much it. We can go ahead and stick a fork in it here. But again, shout out to our favorite players that have retired, players that are going to be coming back. We can't wait to see you. Hopefully we'll get some stuff coming soon. Shameless plug, hashtag start the movement now. Hashtag hope for hope. We're actually going to be having, I'm just going to say,
Shut up.
I'm just going to say,
I'm just going to
shut
go
up,
straight
Jason.
to the outro right now. You better stop.
I'm just going to say, shut up, Jason. But keep your eyes peeled on the show because we're going to have a bunch more special guests.
Just
We're
hope
gonna
for
be bringing
hope.
you a
Yep.
bunch more content.
Yeah, we got some
And
good people coming
start the
on.
movement now. Hashtag hope for hope. You want to see Milton Hope in the Alamo Dome cheering on and driving that crowd? Make sure you start that movement. Start telling all of your friends, hope for hope. Okay? Get that movement going so that our very special friend, Milton Hope, and I mean special in multiple ways, he can maybe get his opportunity to lead our Brahmas team to another championship game and this time to a championship victory. Let's go.
All right. Bye.
Post forward, baby. Let's go.